Good morning, good evening, or good night to the lovely people watching. Noxos here. In today's video, we shall be speaking about lust and sex. This is maybe going to be one of the most important videos on my YouTube channel, so you better pay attention. Lust comes in many various shapes and sizes, like lust towards women, lust towards power, lust towards greed, lust towards work. The main focus we're going to have today is the category of lust towards a woman. Now, one thing my generation really sucks at is controlling lust. They're like men have become like dogs. They're like they can't control their own dick. Now that we gotten that out of the way, lust is a thing that can be powerful if you hone the skills. Imagine this: lust towards power, strength. Not in like, oh yeah, power and status and symbol. No. Lust towards power and strength, building it, building yourself, like gaining muscle in the gym, finding a job that you like, that sort of thing. Lust towards that, right? The drive, the passion towards that. Imagine the same type of energy that when you lust over a woman, we've all been there, where you lust over a woman like, dang, that woman is fine. That sort of energy right there. Imagine if you can transfer that energy and have the same point of view for work, passion, and the projects that you're working on. Like, man, this day has been great at work. Man, that was a great workout. Like that sensation, that same type of energy that you use on women, like, damn, that's a fine woman. Damn, that was a good workout. If you can transfer the viewpoint that you've developed on woman itself and transfer that instead towards something that you like, that is powerful. The way that I did that was when I started to go towards the gym. I wanted to build muscle. So gradually, step by step, the bad habits that I built over the years, the thing that I did was compression deload and compression. Oh no, hold on, that's wrong. That's something towards the gym. I de-escalated the bad habits and I escalated the good habits. But when it comes to addictions and shit like that, you can't suddenly go like this. You have to, over time, like build a viewpoint where like, oh, okay, I want to go towards the gym. Cool, I'll start focusing on that, right? Then your focus will start to gradually shift from the watching these degenerate videos on the internet, right? And you'll slowly build a habit where like, yeah, I'm starting to see gains in the gym because I'm taking creatine, I'm eating the right amounts of food, I'm on ashwagandha, just as an example, right? I just got a little excited, so I had to breathe manually in order to get back to reality. Kind of like that. And then over time, you will build such a lust towards the gym. Like you will be at this level at some point where you'll just ignore porn and all those videos on the internet, and you'll just like, yeah, damn, I'm going to the gym today. We're having legs. Yeah, we're going to hit chest and triceps tomorrow. We're gonna do cardio the day after that. Yeah, that sort of energy, that sort of lust drive towards the gym instead of that kind of lust towards women. But there's nothing wrong having lust towards women in general, because let's say you have a girlfriend or a wife, right? If you haven't seen each other for a long time, that lust towards her, right, that has been building up for some time, using all that in one night, sex is going to be great with that woman. Now, over to the next point. Sex itself. Sex is sacred. If we look at religion as an example, no matter if you're a Christian or a Muslim or any other religion for that fact, if there's one thing a lot of religions can agree upon is that sex is sacred. According to religion, you're only supposed to be married to one man and one woman. No, sorry, you're only supposed to be married to one specific person that you see a future with, having kids and stuff like that. But in some cases, unfortunately, that relationship doesn't last forever and you move on and you separate your ways. But that's life. That's an entire different thing. But in that process itself, at some point during your life, you will have sex. Many people my age have a tendency to be like, yeah, my body count is 20. Yeah, my body. No. The higher your body count, the bigger of a red flag you have. The lower of a body count you have, the less of a red flag you have. You can argue against me as much as you want, but that is actually a flex. Someone my age, still a virgin, actually quite a flex in my perspective, because you're not actively going there every single weekend, fucking and sucking each other out. Because you're so focused and prioritized building your own future that your perspective of this, my perspective of this drinking community, where you go out, you buy expensive drinks, dance on the floor and have fun with the music, and then end up, maybe if you're lucky, you'll get a 3 out of 10 girl home and you'll fuck her and then she'll leave the next day and then repeat the next weekend. That is what my generation has started to do recently a lot. And then at some point during your life, you'll become numb to the sensation, so-called sex. And then one day you might not get it up because it's not stimulating for you anymore. That's why I believe if you're going to have intimacy with a human being, it better be someone that you can either see a future self with, or in general something that the both of you want. I'm not saying that, okay, if you want to fuck friend, fair enough, go and have fun to get this sort of energy out in one way or another. Okay, that's all totally up to you. But as masculine men, we should hone that skill and save it for one particular person. And honestly, the reason it's kind of sacred is because when it's not only about, oh, I'm going to stick my thing in her parts, right? It's about the build-up, the energy, the release, the sensation of feeling connected together. I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, I read an article once where intimacy is the closest thing that we'll ever get to feeling each other's souls, or something along that line. But it should be towards someone that you trust, someone that you can see a future with, or something that feels right for you. Because let's say you're just going out just to get that dopamine feeling great sensation because you wanted to see another woman and end up in bed with her. In my perspective, to be fairly honest, that's just wrong. But that's my opinion, to be fairly honest with you. Lust is a thing we men and women should control and hone the skills of, and intimacy is a thing we should only do with one significant other, like another person that you solely trust, another person that you can maybe see a future with. And if you want to wait 5-6 years before you even have your first intimacy, that's fine, to be fairly honest, because social media has destroyed our perspective of so many things. That's the reason I've recently actually just started to significantly just decrease the amount of use and just start to post more content and talk about the things that I learned about, or the things that I believe I should make YouTube videos about. But anyway, that's me. It is you versus you. Fuck everyone else. But see you guys when you need it. Take care, boys.